Hey guys, I want to spend a little time discussing this calories in, calories out model that we've all been taught and lived by for however many years now. Americans have been sold on if you want to lose weight, you just need to exercise more and eat less. And I can't tell you how untrue that is and how difficult it is to lose weight if you're going to follow that mantra. You certainly can lose weight by having a calorie deficit, but that's definitely harder to do. So what I'm going to spend a little time in is discussing what the differences of a calories in model versus calories out and the model of just eating for your biochemistry and kind of hacking your own biochemistry to lose weight. So my name is Dr. Philip Oob. I'm a functional medicine doctor in Austin, and I decided to talk about this today because I went for a run today and I wanted to do about 5 miles and ended up running 7 miles. And this is the longest I've run probably in 2 years. And the longest I've run prior to that was about 3 miles, maybe 3.5 miles. And so my body's clearly getting in more shape, and obviously the longer you run, the better you get. But I was feeling so good on the run today, and I started to realize that I think the reason I'm feeling so good is because I'm really eating a higher fat diet, gluten-free, and low carb, and that's working really well for my biochemistry. I've already dropped 6 pounds, losing fat, still gaining muscle, clearly, since I can run further than I've run before in 2 years. And so I want to debunk this calories in, calories out method. So once again, in America, we've been taught that if you just want to lose weight, you eat less calories. That is not true. I want to use a couple points to demonstrate this because most people won't believe me when I say this. The main point I want to say is that if you have cancer, and we all unfortunately know someone that's had cancer, inevitably a cancer patient starts to lose weight. Now, you may know that cancer patients also lose their appetite, and that's another reason they lose weight. But before they start to lose their appetite, they actually start to lose weight. Why is that? Their appetite hasn't changed. They're eating the same foods, but now they're losing weight. It's because there are cells in their body that are multiplying too quickly, burning up more energy than they're used to, and so they're starting to tap those fat stores and use them as energy, and so the weight starts dropping. So if a human cell, granted this is a cancer cell, it's still a human cell, if a human cell can burn more energy with the same amount of food, then don't you think your own body can do that? After all, cancer cell just hacked your biochemistry and is running rampant. So why can't you hack your own biochemistry to speed up its own metabolism in order to lose weight, get healthier, feel better? So how do we do that? The easiest way to explain it is insulin is basically the devil. Insulin stores fat, tells your liver to make sugar. It causes you to be hungry. So insulin is pretty much your devil, clear and simple. And so if you don't want insulin around because it's the devil, then what do you have to avoid in order to avoid insulin? The main thing is carbs. So it doesn't matter what form or shape a carb is. It doesn't matter if it's a brown rice, if it's a wheat bread. A carb, is a sugar is a sugar. It doesn't matter if it's table sugar, if it's agave, if it's honey. Sugar is sugar to the body. A carb is a sugar to the body, and no different. It all breaks down into sugar. And sugar is the most powerful stimulator of insulin around. Now, I had an interesting discussion with a biochemist who teaches at UT yesterday, and we had a few disagreements about different things. But I'm going to stick to my guns and say that our bodies are not machines. We can regulate our metabolism, and based on our metabolism is how well we burn energy, utilize energy, and how efficient our bodies are. So she was still operating under the calories in, calories out model, and that's not true because when you start eating higher fat diets and lower carb, one main thing happens, and that is that your body has to make its own sugar. When your body makes its own sugar, it's using fat as the energy source, and your body's not as good at making sugar as it is at burning fat. So when your body makes sugar, it actually burns more energy to make that sugar. So it's something like 80% efficient. So you actually, if you're not eating the carbs and your body has to make those carbs, you're actually burning more energy by not doing anything different. So the other thing with eating more fat and lower carb is that once your insulin levels really start to drop and aren't hovering in the high range and insulin resistance, not only do you start losing weight, but insulin, like I said earlier, stimulates your appetite. So now there's not really that much insulin around, and so your appetite center isn't as provoked, isn't as stimulated, and so you're not hungry that often. And then your body is used to burning on fats because that's primarily your energy source that you're eating. And what do you want to lose in your own body? You want to burn the fat that's in your body. And so your body's already pretty good at digesting fat and living off fat. So now when you stop, when you run out of fat in your diet, then your body is easily able to flip over to the fat in your body and start burning it. The other point, in addition to the cancer patient, that I want to use to point out that calories in and calories out is not true, is think about a skinny person that can eat anything in the world. They can eat a Big Mac and French fries and drink a 44-ounce Coke, and they won't gain a pound. Why is that? It's not that they have some crystal ball or magic potion or something that they can take and they don't absorb the calories. Their metabolism is that much faster, and they're able to burn off the calories quicker. So you need to hack your own biochemistry in order to burn those same calories, because you may not have been as blessed as that person that just gets to be skinny. Now, truth be told, their biochemistry can still take damage, even though they may look skinny. You can be skinny fat, which means you have your liver can be full of fat. You can have visceral fat, and that's just as unhealthy as an overweight person. Just because you can't see the fat doesn't mean it's not there. But that's another story. So I'm going to tell you briefly what I ate today and how good I felt today. And this is not a you must eat this in order to be healthy, but it's just to give you an idea. So when I woke up, I had a cup of coffee. I put a big scoop of coconut oil in it. That seems to be my go-to these days. And I did put in a little creamer. And so that was my primary getting started. And then I made a protein shake a little bit later. I had a scoop of flax seeds, Ultra Meal Cardio from Metagenics, which has 5 grams of fat, 14 grams of carbs, and 13 grams of protein. So not a whole lot of fat in it. So what do? I take a huge scoop of coconut oil, and you want to get cold pressed coconut oil, and a huge scoop of that, and blend it up so that it's in tiny pieces and you don't really have to chew it like grits or oatmeal or something. And that was my morning shake. I had to go to the office today because I'm moving boxes and getting ready for our move to Westlake. And so I moved boxes for about 2 hours, came home and unloaded the boxes here, and still wasn't hungry, and that was after 2 hours. So then I finally had a salad, and I guzzled the olive oil all over the salad. So once again, you want cold pressed olive oil. And I probably put 2 to 3 ounces of olive oil on the salad, and then I used my ranch dressing as a kind of flavor, because olive oil doesn't have that great of a taste. And by the time I was done with the salad, I actually couldn't even finish the salad because my stomach was full. And this is after loading boxes for 2 or 3 hours. And this is like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon by this point. So not really a lot of carbs that I've eaten, other than what was in the protein shake, maybe a little bit in the creamer that I used. And then of course the vegetables and the salad. And then I decided to go for a run. I was aiming for 5 miles, and I ended up doing 7 miles. My 7th mile was the fastest. And I felt great the whole time. I wasn't hungry, I wasn't starving, I didn't crash. Basically, my body was burning ketones as its energy source. It was making its own sugar to power the muscles. And it was basically almost a calorie deficit, not because I'm in a calorie deficit, because the amount of oil and things I've eaten today is probably plenty enough calories, but my body's in a fat burning state because there's not really enough insulin around to promote fat storage. So that's kind of my tip for today. I don't want to necessarily promote a ketogenic diet right now, unless you're really trying to lose a lot of weight. I think the data is still a little sketchy whether a ketogenic diet is really that great for the long run. But I do want to say, don't be scared of fat. Add more fat into your diet and trade out the carbs. Lower the carbs. Try to avoid any white carbs that you can possibly find. So that's bread, rice, potatoes. I would even say don't eat too many sweet potatoes. That's a heavy carb source. So you want to start limiting your carbs and adding in the fats instead. And what you might notice is that even though you're eating the same calories per day, if you're really tracking them, that you're less hungry. You're not voracious when it comes time to eat, and you actually feel better. You feel more energized. Your brain is running off ketones and fats, and it's 60% fat, so I think it likes fat. So hopefully this helps give you a little guidance in today's world with so much confusing nutritional advice. I don't want to say, once again, that ketogenic 90% fat or anything is what you want to aim for. Aim for a very balanced diet, but I'm going to push you more towards 50% fat and splitting the protein and carbs between the remaining 50%, and trying to keep the carbs as low as possible. And primarily all of your carbs should come from vegetable sources, not including potatoes. So I hope this is helpful. Feel free to like, share, comment, give me some feedback. Specifically, the person that I had not a heated argument, but a discussion with about biochemistry. I'd love to hear her feedback on what she has to say about this video. So I hope y'all are doing well. Enjoy your Saturday, Sunday.